According to Section 36, every person has the right of private defense of the body against an act which would otherwise be a certain offense, but is not that offense by reason of the doer being of unsound mind, a minor, or an intoxicated person, or a person acting under misconception of fact. Right of private defense against act of a person of unsound mind, etc. The right of private defense is available against such persons who are exonerated by law if they commit any offense. This section lays down that for the purpose of exercising the right of private defense, the physical or mental capacity of the person against whom the right is exercised is no bar. According to Section 36, the right of defense of the body exists against all attackers with or without mens rea. Thus, if Z, under the influence of madness, attempts to kill A, Z is guilty of no offense, but A has the same right of private defense which he would have if Z were sane. Acts against which there is no right of private defense. Section 37 places 4 restrictions on the right of private defense. Act of public servant. There is no right of private defense against an act which does not reasonably cause the apprehension of death or grievous hurt if done or attempted to be done by a public servant acting in good faith under the color of his office, though that act may not be strictly justifiable by the law. Similarly, there is no right of private defense when the act is done by the direction of a public servant, though that direction may not be strictly justifiable by law. There is no right of defense in cases in which there is time to have recourse of the protection of public authorities. However, this doesn't mean that a person must run away to have recourse to the protection of public authorities when he is attacked instead of protecting himself. Number 4. The right of private defense is in no case extends to the inflicting of more harm than it is necessary to inflict for the purpose of defense. Explanation 1 and 2 to Section 37 provides that a person is not deprived of the right of defense against an act of public servant unless he knows that he has reason to believe that the attacker is a public servant or is acting under the direction of a public servant. Commencement and continuance of the right of private defense. Section 40 provides that the right of private defense of the body commences as soon as a reasonable apprehension of danger to the body arises from an attempt or threat to commit the offense, though the offense may not have been committed, and it continues so long as such apprehension of danger to the body continues. Thus, if the assailants run away or when they are disarmed by force, there can be no apprehension of danger of one's body or any threat of such offense against one's body. When the right of private defense extends to causing death, the right of private defense of the body extends subject to the restrictions mentioned in Section 37 to the voluntary causing of death or of any other harm to the assailant in cases of the assault as may reasonably cause the apprehension that death will otherwise be the consequence of such an assault. Similarly, in case of grievous hurt, an assault with the intention of committing rape, an assault with the intention of gratifying unnatural lust, an assault with the intention of kidnapping or abduction, an assault with the intention of wrongfully confining a person under circumstances which may reasonably cause him to apprehend that he will be unable to have recourse to the public authorities for release. An act of throwing or administering acid or an attempt to throw or administer acid which may reasonably cause the apprehension that grievous hurt will otherwise be the consequence of each act. For example, A is attacked by the mob who attempt to murder him. He cannot effectually exercise his right of defense without firing on the mob, and he cannot fire without risk of harming young children who are mingled with the mob. A commits no offense if by so firing he harms any of the children. In Gurli Gapa, the two accused were searched by an armed gang who announced their intention to kill them. The accused took refuge in the kitchen. The mob broke into the kitchen and attacked the accused, who hacked to death one of the assailants. It was held that the accused had committed no offense. They were fighting for their lives against a murderous mob, and it was not surprising that they did their best to make sure that their enemy was dead.